Hi everyone, and thanks for taking the time to watch my video. I'm Sherwood, Dr. Sherwood Tucker, a dentist of course, and a master of the Academy of General Dentistry. I thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this short video, and I'm hoping it will help you out. I started private practice right after I graduated from Northwestern University Dental School. It was actually quite a shock when I realized I knew nothing about how to run a business. And as far as dentistry was concerned, just basic rudimentary knowledge of what most all you learned how to do too. Anyway, I had no idea how to get new patients nor the best way to treat them when one of them called for an appointment. So that was kind of scary, actually. Anyway, this was in a small town in Pennsylvania, and I was so desperate I hired one of those big companies that charged me a lot of money, came in and spent a week and a half, and basically the bottom line was that I was the doctor and the patient must do what I said. Well, that didn't work out too good because following their advice, I almost went bankrupt. And I started to take a multitude of continuing education courses. I visited a lot of other dentists and their offices to see how they did it, and I even visited dental labs. Along the way, I picked up a lot of good information and things started to improve, but I was still losing a lot of patients. Something was definitely wrong there. Fortunately for me, I happened to meet a dentist from Texas at one of his continuing education seminars, and that's when I discovered the answer that I was seeking. I couldn't believe it, but it was so simple. It made it all the difference in the world, and after several meetings with him, my practice really started to take off. I had more new patients than I could handle. I learned to love to make dentures, and remakes became a thing of the past. And that's just to name a few things. In any case, I was in Pennsylvania for about 20 years when I sold the practice and moved to Florida, where I started a new practice from scratch once again. Of course, things were much easier this time because I knew what I was doing, and within a very short period of time, once again, I had plenty of new patients. So I sold that practice about 10 or so years ago, and I decided to take a job working on a remote Indian reservation in South Dakota. Things are much different here because the people do not pay for any dental services. Anyway, during my spare time, I studied and I learned all about digital marketing so that I could share my knowledge and help other dentists to learn what I learned, and hopefully in a much shorter period of time. Because you don't know me from the man in the moon, I'm going to show you a few pictures so you can get to know me a little better. Here's my granddaughter, Noelle. This is when she just learned to sit up by herself. So she's now a little bit older and crawls around getting into mischief like many of you probably have experienced with children. Of course, I photoshopped her onto a cloud just because she's so cute. And next is a picture of my office in Pennsylvania, me sitting there in my office. And you'll notice, by the way, that these pictures are not digital as they were taken quite a while ago. Next is a picture of me when I was in the Air Force stationed in the Philippine Islands. And while I was stationed there, I had these two cars. I think one of them was a 1936 Plymouth and the other was a 1940 Ford. You could pick them up pretty cheap because when your tour ended over there, you were rotated back to the States and you couldn't really take the cars with you, so you sold them to somebody else. Which they were helpful for, or happy about. And here's a picture of me in the dance band when I was in school, and finally a picture where I grew up with my grandparents and some other relatives. In any case, when I first started out in practice, I worked 6 days a week because I thought the more hours you were open, the more convenient it'd be for patients. Boy, did I find out that that was wrong, because the first thing to go was, within a few months, was the Saturdays, because as it turned out, people had other things to do on Saturday and the no-show rate was really high. The next thing I eliminated was Fridays, but of course that took a little longer than a couple of months. And I finally ended up working Monday and Wednesday from about 8 to 6 and Tuesday and Thursday from 8 to 12. So I was able to play golf usually 5 days a week, maybe a short round on Monday and Wednesday. But what amazed me about that schedule was every time I decreased the number of hours I was in the office, my production went up. And that was a pleasant surprise. Another thing I learned from of the dentist was how to love making dentures, and these were dentures that people were very happy with and referred many new patients. Another thing was my remit rate dropped to almost zero. There were many other things about my bottom line and how to keep my overhead percentages about 20% less than most other dentists. In any case, I've decided to give back and share as much information as I can to help other dentists who need new patients and really want to enjoy their practice and quit worrying. To that end, I've started a coaching program wherein I can show, just how to have 20 or more new patients every month if that be one of your needs. Or if there are any other problems or questions, I can help you out with those too. So if you want to learn how I was able to do it and at the same time love doing it, and you want to apply this to your practice, let's book a free, no obligation call during which I can answer all your questions. We can cover what you're currently doing to acquire new patients or any other questions you might have. So if this sounds interesting, go to my website, which is wantnewpatients.com, and there you'll find a link to schedule a free, no obligation call during which we can chat. So why don't you do it right now so you don't forget and miss this great opportunity, because it is really a great opportunity. And just go to wantnewpatients.com. You won't be sorry that you did. In any case, that's it for now. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.